He's been in power for 2 decades, and now Vladimir Putin could have the means to remain as Russian president for as many as 12 more years. Putin addressed the lower house of parliament on Tuesday, saying he believed a constitutional amendment that would allow him to run for president again could be adopted if Russia's constitutional court did not object. He is currently required by the constitution to step down in 2024, when his latest 2-term period comes to an end.
Technically, today we could lift the presidential term limits, especially because such precedents exist in other countries, including our neighbors. There are no term limits there in the election procedure of a head of state.
Putin unveiled a major shake-up of Russian politics and a constitutional overhaul in January. Critics have accused him of plotting to use constitution changes to extend his rule beyond 2024. His appearance on Tuesday came after a lawmaker from the ruling United Russia Party told Parliament that she would propose an amendment to reset Putin's presidential term count back to 0. The move, if adopted and backed in a nationwide vote, would allow him to stay in office until 2036. Putin himself appeared to voice his own reservations at the constitutional change.
In principle, this option would be possible, but on one condition. If the Constitutional Court gives an official ruling that such an amendment would not contradict the principles and main provisions of the Constitution.
Another ruling party lawmaker on Tuesday proposed holding snap parliamentary elections, currently scheduled for September 2021, once the constitutional reform was out of the way. Putin was cool to that idea though, saying he saw no need for snap elections if there were no disagreements in parliament.
Russians have paved the way for Vladimir Putin to stay in power until 2036. In a 7-day vote which culminated on Wednesday, they overwhelmingly gave their approval for a package of constitutional changes, according to initial results. The 67-year-old former KGB officer has ruled the country for more than 2 decades as president or prime minister. Now he's won the right to run for 2 more terms after his current term expires in 2024. It means Putin could remain president for 16 more years. On this momentous day for the country, some are voting from their hospital bed. Russians have been encouraged to vote with prize draws offering apartments, and there's been an ad campaign highlighting other constitutional amendments, such as pensions protection and a de facto ban on same-sex marriages. One-off payments of 10,000 rubles or $141 were also transferred to those with children at Putin's order, as people headed to polling stations on Wednesday. In a speech on Tuesday, Putin made no mention of how the constitutional changes could affect his own career. He has said he's yet to decide on his future. Critics say they are sure he will run again.
Vladimir Putin's approval rating is at its lowest level in more than 2 decades as the coronavirus crisis rages, a poll found on Wednesday. But support for his plan to remain in office until 2036 has actually increased. The poll was taken by the Levada Center, and it showed Putin's support fell to 59% last month, compared to 63% in April. That's still very high by Western standards. And there's no sign the man who has dominated Russian politics for more than 2 decades is about to be toppled. But the novel coronavirus is clearly causing Putin problems. Cases continue to soar, oil prices are rock bottom, and the lockdown in Russia, like everywhere else, has damaged people's livelihoods. Putin's plan to change the constitution to allow him